What is hippity hopping, my guys? I am Thomas Big Channel, and I have come to a lot of conclusions off camera. At the end of my episode 2, I said that I would be farming some wood to turn into a wood shop. And I did. I farmed some wood. I actually farmed it right next to my house over here in the savanna biome, and all the trees have grown. But after I had farmed about 3 stacks of each type of wood, I was informed that there was a player who had already been selling wood in the shopping district. And worst of all, I had already passed his shop multiple times. So, what I ended up doing was completely rethinking my idea of what I would sell and coming up with the conclusion that I would sell terracotta, and I have just been going at it. I've mined all of the natural blocks from the mesa. I've mined all the natural blocks from the mesa, and I have started putting some dyes together. I've made a cactus farm so I can get green dye, and I've been bone mealing these flowers to get pink and magenta, and then over here I can get purple dye, and I can get blue dye to mix with the green dye so I can make cyan. And then after that, I just need a couple bits of bone meal so that I can make the light blue and lime. And then I have all of my stuff. So today's episode, I'm actually going to be making a shop. And I actually have all of these materials to make the shop. I have just been doing tons and tons of work off camera. But first, I don't think I have enough granite. It's a really important block in my structure, and I think I might need a bit more of it, so I'm going to go and farm some of it right now. I will cut to when it's over. There we go. I got a couple extra stacks, and now I feel like I'm ready to make my shop. I don't have all of the terracotta together yet, but I feel like if I could just plan out where I want my shop to be and maybe build a couple bits of it, then it would go really nicely. So first I've got to get to spawn, hopefully not die on the way over by crashing my head into the ceiling. Find a nice open spot with room for expansion. This place looks nice. It's right next to the nether portal, and it's next to this giant prismarine thing, which will hopefully make it look a lot better. And now all I have to do is just start laying it out. This build kind of reminds me of an Italian courtyard, but it's also sort of kind of like its own like little neighborhood. And I'm thinking of calling it Builder's Boulevard, but I might have to look up what a boulevard actually is. I have not taken a driving test yet. And here we are, got the workings of a nice plot of land here. I have to get rid of the trees and maybe do some terraining when I'm done with the build, but this plot is looking really nice, and I think it's going to be a really good spot, and I might be able to do some expansions if I find out for more products to sell. I'm thinking of also selling some red sand and regular sand, because it would fit with the rather dry theme I've got going on here. Alrighty, this should be about as tall as the main build gets. So I think I'm gonna do some detailing here, and I'll just cut to when I'm done. Well, here I am in the interior of the finished store. The interior doesn't look good now, but when it's all decorated with the centerpiece that's gonna go here and all of the different terracotta blocks, it's gonna look really nice. The exit is over here, and looking from the front, yeah, I think this looks really, really nice. I think it looks really nice. We got some flowers, lantern, got some campfire action. All this is missing is some texturing, which I can very quickly do because I purchased some spruce from the person who's selling spruce planks, and I can just very quickly add a little bit of a gradient in here. Oh, there's a dude, 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 there's a dude. Don't want to die to that dude. Not dying to that dude. Oh my god, I'm gonna die to that dude. Why am I like that? Well, I guess I can see the attractiveness of my build when I fly by it. Yeah, that's definitely noticeable. This is just the humble beginnings of a big, beautiful base. Well, not a base, a shop. This is the beginnings of a big, beautiful shop, and it will look very nice, and it is already very nice, and I think I might even add a window in here for some lovely exterior detailing, and I can put some shelves in there, and yeah, that looks great. This looks very presentable. And I personally like it a lot, and I might even add some other stuff to it. But now it is time to work on the grand centerpiece of the build. I am going to be constructing a tree in the center of the courtyard. And hopefully it's gonna go great. Now, when you're building trees, you have to think about it. And what I'm thinking is I want this tree to be very low. It's got to be a very low tree, because the people who planted this tree had to make sure that it would fit in a courtyard, and thus the tree has to be very small. It has to be very cut down. So this has got to be a very artificial feeling tree. But not artificial in the sense that it's not a real tree, but in the sense where humans have cut it down and make it look a little bit more worn, which is kind of what I'm doing here with the trunks. Now, trees go more up than sideways, so when I make trees, I try to make them preferably go a little bit farther upwards. And it's going pretty good right now, but we'll see how it ends up later. I am also going to try to... That didn't work. Hold on. I can't seem to make my way up there. Also, I'm trying not to use too many descriptive words, because the last time I tried to make a building tutorial style video, it did not go well, and I was describing things very poorly. In fact, I think in one of the scenes where I was doing in the video, I said that a corn silo has a thing that goes up, and it was probably my lowest point as a human being. Now, let's see. I'm trying to go diagonal a little bit. Maybe I want to go up on one of these. That's right. I've officially run out of fence gates, and this is our current tree. Not bad. Not bad at all. I think it will look a little bit unimpressive, but if I could just get a 5th branch going in the center here, it'll all make sense. Now, with leaves, I get a little bit nervous, because I don't want to put too many leaves on. The best trees, and I mean this, trees look the best when there are spaces of nothing in between all of the branches. You don't need trees to be constantly filled with leaves around the branches. You want your trees to have the majority of leaves in the build, but also not feel too crowded. And that's kind of what I want for this tree here. Whenever I'm building a tree, I just keep thinking of that scene from Ratatouille where Remy's making the soup. Like, that's what's going on in my mind right now. I'm just completely locked in, focusing on this tree. Just focused. Pure hyper focus on this tree right now. Might even want some... Might even want some patches down here. If I get, like, a patch down here, that'd be nice. I believe that a tree of this size is not good enough until you are able to, like, walk around inside of the tree, because that's how trees work in real life. There aren't like leaves covering every single surface. You're able to climb around in it a bit, and I feel like that sentiment also applies to Minecraft trees. I can also do a bit of texturing with some spruce planks up here, just to make it look extra nice. And now for the final reveal, I shall do a flyby. I think I forgot some branches. Hold on. I still have a stack of leaves left. Let me just tidy some. Ow. Why does this always happen? I think I need, like, feather falling or something. If you look at the chat, you'll see Confused Cola was shot by skeleton, slain by zombie, kinetic energy, high place, kinetic energy, and burned to death, and fell from high place. Maybe it looks good from this angle? Yeah, it looks good from that angle, not from this angle. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I think it's just because of some branches over here that don't have leaves on the underside, because underside leaves are... See, there we go. I also think that there is a portion with a long line of leaves, and I don't think leaves really come in lines, so it doesn't look that good. Maybe it was over here. Maybe I should just remove, like, yeah. Now, how does that look? I think I've made a perfect tree here today. It's perfect. Don't you think so, Mr. Creeper? Creepers don't explode in Shamblecraft. Yeah, I think this looks great. The right amount of leaves are visible. The right amount of leaves are hidden. It looks perfectly nice. Perfectly respectable tree. Might want to put some stuff down there, and then I might want to break that one. But yeah, it looks really nice. I think I've made a really great shop here today. I think this is a great little shop. Might want to place some torches so it looks a little bit brighter. And I don't know if that would do anything. Yeah, it's doing something. The tree looks brighter now. Yeah, but that's good. That's good. That's a good tree. I'm pretty sure that that's a good tree. It's no B-dubs tree, but, like, come on. Looks good from in here, and that's all that matters. Yeah, this looks like a perfectly average tree. And all that's left is to barricade the door with a giant sign that says opening soon. Builders Boulevard. Coming soon, Builders Boulevard. Yeah, there we go. That looks nice. Don't know if anyone has glowing sacks available, but probably no one. Also, bone blocks, a diamond per stack. That is a fine deal. I can't stop looking at my shop. I'm sorry. It's really pretty, and I can't stop looking at it because I'm so happy about it. But, like, very well, shop made. I think that I'm just gonna take all this stuff that I got and go home. I have accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, and now I'm gonna go home the only way I know how. Dying. Alright, home sweet home. Now, as you can see here, I've only got a couple of stuff left. I got gray, which I have to buy from the dye store. Pink's done. Magenta's done. Blue I've been working on. Cyan, light blue, black I can buy. Green, it's almost done. Lime. It's really coming together, and I think maybe even by next episode I will be opening this shop, and that's really good. I think I might end this episode by getting all of the blue dye I needed by showcasing my amazing and epically awesome cool flower farm. I made it myself using a redstone tutorial that I did not make myself, and it is really, really functional. I'm just... Whenever I see this thing going, I think to myself, wow, I made this. And I start to feel like Jimmy Neutron. Like literally, this is probably the biggest my cranium has felt in a while. And also I can get rid of all these oak leaves, which is nice. I've been running out of bone meal, so I've had to cut costs by sort of putting a composter underneath a chest, and it turns into bone meal and gets put back into the system, which is kind of frugal, but also not. I just never really get a lot of blue flowers from this. I think blue flowers are the ones that I get the least, but I still get them occasionally. I'm waiting for my dye. I'm waiting for my dye. I'm sitting atop a pile of particles whilst waiting a while. I'm singing, and I don't know why I'm winning. So happy I could cry because I'm singing about my wonderful dye farm. That was another original brought to you by me. How much bone meal is left in this thing? Ooh, not a lot. Well, that's okay, because I have a chest full of stuff. Well, looks like it ran out of bone meal. I'll just leave all these seeds in here to be dispensed, and I will probably get enough bone meal to continue. This is definitely enough blue dye. So what I do is I'm actually gonna put my stuff away so that I have more room in my inventory. And what I do is I take all of my terracotta, and then I put the stack in the center, and then I just get tons of blue terracotta, put it in here, fill my inventory with more terracotta, and then I take in more blue dye and I put that in the center, and then I fill it up again, put more back in, and then I just repeat it infinitely. And usually it's quite effective. Unfortunately, I'm a bit short, so I'm just gonna finish with some green dye over here. Get a nice 56. And I'll probably finish the episode when I have all of my terracottas done, which is gonna be a lot of work, but also something that has to be done. So I'm gonna go up to the flower farm and do my outro. So, yeah, this was a more relaxed, probably a lot shorter episode, but I got a lot more stuff done in it than, like, episode 2, where I didn't really get anything done. So, it's probably a better episode because of that, I reckon. And I'd just like to thank everyone who is watching my videos, because I'm not the best at editing and I'm not the best at content creating, but some people still watch me anyway, and that's really cool. And just like to say thank you. But it is that time of the video, so I'm just going to cut to black like I always do and say goodbye.